सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम बोलो स्वामी सद्गुरु शिवानंद महाराज की जय। ओम बोलो स्वामी विष्णुदेवानंद महाराज की जय। हरि ओम तत्सत। I offer my pranams to the lotus feet of our masters. I pray masters give us the perfect understanding. It's Swami who speaks. It's Swami who listens through all of us. Hari Om Tat Sat. Good evening. We are in chapter 6, slokam number 33. So far Krishna has been telling Arjuna the path of Karma Yoga. That Karma Yoga path takes you to the this karma sannyasi path. From there, acquire knowledge, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Acquire the proper knowledge from the right teacher. Contemplate and get the conviction. Understand. Get the proper knowledge and get into this meditation path, this Dhyana Yoga, which will take us, which will lead us to the self-realization. So, having heard in all these verses, Arjuna is raising a question in verse number 33. Arjuna uvacha yoyam yogastvaya proktaha samyena madhusudhana etasyaham na pashyami chanchalatva sthitim stiram. Having listened to Krishna, Arjuna felt that this path appears to be very hard, appears to be almost impossible. So for theory it sounds great, but for practice it appears hard. So Arjuna says, "Oh Madhusudana, this path of yoga, this meditation path, this Dhyana Yoga path, which you have explained in detail, which you have described, the yoga of equanimity, samyena, seeing everything samatvam, this yoga, Dhyana Yoga, I don't see any stability in this. Hey Madhusudana, from my standpoint of view, I am not saying it is impossible, but I feel it appears impractical and unattainable to me. With such mental sanchalam is restlessness. Constantly the thoughts keep coming and moving, going out and coming in and getting into various objects. So it is not stiram, it is not steady. So I feel this path, from my standpoint of view," Arjuna says, "I feel this path is hard, it is very difficult." Slokam number 34. Chanchalam himana Krishna pramadi bala vadrudham tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sadushkaram. Hey Krishna, the mind is sanchalam, this is restless. Pramadi, sanchalam hi mana Krishna pramadi bhalavadrudam. Pramadi is turbulent. Bhalavat, the mind is strong. When he gets into some object, it is too strong. Dridam, This has got tremendous stamina of tremendous staying power. Obstinate, the mind has got that tremendous staying power. To control this mind, I find it, the path is difficult. Vayoriva sadushkritam. Vayuhu is the wind, the breeze. Even the wind, it is controlling the wind, comparing to that, controlling the mind is more difficult. So it is possible to catch hold of this Vayu, but it is possible to control. It is impossible to control this mind. From where it comes, from where it goes, we cannot control this mind. The wind has tremendous power, but it looks like even we can control this wind, this mind cannot be controlled. Slokam number 35. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Ashamshayam Mahabhaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena cha Grihyate. Bhagavan Krishna, he speaks, O Arjuna, Mahabhaho, O Arjuna, Asamshayam, undoubtedly, Manaha Durnigraham, the mind is very difficult to control. I also agree, Arjuna, the mind is very difficult to control. Chalam, it is all the time restless. It is very hard to control this mind. I agree with you. What you say is correct. Tu, but there is a method. There is a technique. There is a twofold technique. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. Abhyasam and vairagyam. These are the two techniques, twofold techniques through which we can control this mind. Kaunteya, a son of Kunti, abhyasena, by practice. What we repeatedly do, that becomes a practice for us. When we keep doing something, we are getting better and better and better on that. So by practice, by abhyasam means practice. By keep on practicing, by keep on repeating, we get stronger on that. Vairagyena, by detachment, by dispassion. How do we get that non-attachment? Vairagya means that does not mean that we need to hate this world, we need to hate all the objects, we need to be completely indifferent, keeping one logo at the back. No. It's not like that. Vairagya is slowly and steadily getting free from the likes and dislikes, free from the influence of this world. We need to be around these objects, but these objects should not attract us, should not control us. So that comes through Viveka and Vairagya. Viveka is discrimination. This Viveka is the foundation. Through the discrimination, there's Vairagya. What we need to get into that non-attachment. So how do we get that? By meeting the learned people, by getting connected with the right kind of teachers, by satsang, by reading scriptures. There is one, master says, there is one more, by praying God himself, please give me the Vairagya. I have to get this Vairagya. Can surrender to the God and get that Vairagya more and more. So Vairagya is educating the mind. Abhyasa is practicing, disciplining the mind. So by educating and by training, with these twofold techniques, we can control the mind. Whenever the mind is running outward, by practice, abhyasam, please bring the mind back towards inward through willpower. Vairagya, keep on educating the mind. Where are you going? The pleasure is not outward, it is inside. Where are you going? This object pleasure is not infinite. It is limited. It is not limitless. So bring that back. Through constantly educating the mind, we get that back into ourselves. So these two are the techniques, Arjuna. Grihyate. When you follow these two techniques, the mind can be controlled. It can be held under check. Slokam number 36. 6. असंशयात्मना योगो दुष्प्राप इति मे मतिः वस्यात्मना तु यतता सक्यो वाप्तुमुपायतः. When you follow this dhyana yoga, you say that, when we don't have the control over mind, then this dhyana yoga is completely impossible. Following this path cannot be achieved, cannot be attained if we do not have control over the mind. Asamsayatmana, one whose mind is uncontrolled yoga, that dhyana yogam is dushprapa, it is difficult to attain. Iti me matihi. This is my opinion also. I am also saying, when your mind is not controlled, this dhyana yoga is not possible. Yatata. But vasyatmana, one whose mind is controlled, which is disciplined, sakyo vaptum upayataha, that is the only upaya to get that, he can achieve, he can attain perfection in this dhyana yogam if he is going to shift his mind towards inward through viveka, vairagya and abhyasa, through discrimination, through dispassion, and by discipline, by educating the mind. Slokam number 37. Arjuna uvacha ayati shraddhayopeto yogaschalita manasaha aprapya yoga samsiddhim kam gatim krishna gacchati. In this slokam and in the following two other slokams, Arjuna raises a pertinent question. Arjuna says, "Oh Krishna, what is the fate of unsuccessful yogi?" For example, Shraddhayopeto, with all the faith, this yogi, the seeker, is following the path, following the karma yoga, all the steps, all the process that you have mentioned. This yogi is following that with all sincerity. He is trying to control the mind, but he is unable to control the mind. Chalita manasaha, whose mind becomes deviated. He is unable to control the mind. It just keeps wandering away from that dhyana yogam. Aprapya, he is failing to attain yoga samsiddhi, the highest perfection. Okay, when he is failing to attain that, what will happen to him? Kam gati gacchati. What is the gati for that person, the seeker, who is sincerely with all faith following this path, but he is not able to control the mind, but suddenly, due to some calamity, he is losing his birth, he is losing his life. What gati? What will happen to him? Arjuna, carefully, with all due respect, he has highest regards for Krishna's teachings. He has the highest trust in Krishna's teachings. But he is raising a doubt to clarify that doubt that is getting on him. So with all respect, he is asking Krishna Bhagavan, what will happen to that yogi who is with deep faith, with deep shraddha, following this path, but unable to control his temptations, unable to do the self-control, and suddenly, due to some accident, suddenly a death happens to him. What will happen to him? He is not accomplishing his goal, but what happens to him? See, there are two kind of pleasures. One is Vishaya Ananda, the other one is Brahmananda. Vishaya Ananda is the sensual objects. You get into the worldly objects, the objects keep giving you some sensual pleasures, that is Vishaya Ananda. He is material benefits. He is shifting himself from these material benefits because those are limited benefits, which is not taking him to the right path. So he is shifting himself to this Brahmananda to experience the supreme bliss, to experience the spiritual benefits, but suddenly some death happens to him. So, Kam Gatim Gachati, what is his destination? What is his Gati now? Bhagavan Krishna, he's putting this question to Krishna Bhagavan. Slokam number 38. Kaschinno bhaya vibhrashti chinna bramiva nashyati apratishto mahabhaho vimudo brahmanah pati. Having fallen from the material benefits path, from the karma, from the way of work, getting into the way of yoga, unable to control his mind, unable to control his senses, so he is not successful in the spiritual path also. Though he is with all faith, he is following the path, that the technique that you have described all along. Suddenly he lost. Suddenly a death happened to him due to lack of self-control. In this life, he is unable to achieve the final destination. But he has also slipped from the material benefit path. So both the benefit he is not getting. Nashyati, it looks like he is perished. The destruction happens to him. Apratishtaha, without any support, he has just lost his life. Now what happens to him? What is the gati of him? Slokam number 39. Etan me samshayam Krishna chetum arhasya seshataha tvadhanya samsayasyasya chetana hyupapatyate. Oh Krishna, help me. I have got this confusion now. Where will he go? What is his destination? All the benefits he is losing. When everybody is enjoying the life with all the material benefits, this person, this seeker, has followed this path, but he is unable to control. Suddenly he lost his life. What will happen to him? I have this confusion. Chetum arhasya seshata. Dispel this completely. Dispel my doubt completely, Krishna. Why does Arjuna ask this question? He says, Tvadanya samsayasyasya chetana hyupapadyate. None other than you can clarify this doubt that has arisen on me, on my mind, Krishna. So please clear this doubt. Slokam number 40. Arjuna is asking this question to Krishna, saying that, only you can give a solution for my doubt. None other than you. You are a knower of everything. You know everything. I trust you completely. Only you can clear this doubt on me. So he is raising this question. Slokam number 40. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Partha Naiveha Namutra Vinashastasya Vidyate Nahi Kalyana Krit Kaschit Durgatim Tata Gachati. Bhagavan Krishna says, Arjuna, one who follows this path, Kalyana Krit, one who follows this auspicious path. Kalyana Krit is doing all right actions and following the Karma Yoga path, one who gets into this spiritual path, one who follows the path of Dhyana Yoga. Such person never perishes. Such person, there is no destruction to him at all. Naiveha, na iva iha, not in this world. Na amudra, not in other world also. Vinashastasya vidyate. This seeker, this yogin who follows this Kalyanakrit, who follows this auspicious path, this seeker, there is no destruction to him at all. There is no measurement how many steps that you need to go in this path, how many kilometers you walked. No, there is no yardstick, there is no measure. You have to sincerely keep following this path, and sometimes the seeker just keep following the path. He do not know whether he is doing, he is progressing or not, but still he will only be progressing. There is no destruction to him. Krishna Bhagavan says, take this as certain, Arjuna. One who is following this path, understand that seeker is only progressing. He is progressing in this birth. I can recollect in one example, when we stay in Shivananda Yoga Ashram, Shivananda Ashram in Uttarakashi, we will all go one day to our to Gangotri. So when we all go, it's a long travel. When we go either in a bus or in a car, sometimes we were climbing up, suddenly it looks like we are going down. It is not that we are going down. They are climbing into another mountain. It is taking up. So in the spiritual path, when we are progressing in this path, following all the process that has been mentioned, suddenly some doubt will come to us. Are we going in the right direction? I feel that, suddenly I'm hopeless. I don't have any hold. I am feeling that I'm going at the rock bottom. Suddenly all this will come. Do not worry. These are not taking you down. They are, suddenly some sorrow will come. You feel, what am I doing? I'm going at the rock bottom. No. These are only evolving. Be certain, Arjuna, the seeker who is following this path only progress. There is no durgati. There is no, this person who sincerely follows this path, there is no durgati. There is no destruction for this person. If one do not follow this path, we know they can get rebirth as anything, as animal, bird or insect or anything. So Krishna Bhagavan says, oh Arjuna, my dear friend, take this for granted. Either in this world or in the other world, a person who is following this path, there is no ruin, there is no destruction awaits this person. Adi Shankara in his commentary says, ruin means, suppose he is following this path and he is in this stage, when he takes the next birth, he will not be below this. He will only either get into the same birth or above. Based on this punyam that he has been doing in this path, there is nothing that he will get inferior to that birth. So Adi Shankara in his commentary says that on the next birth, from here they will take on. Swami Shivananda also says, whatever that you do, the punyam that you are doing in this birth, the right direction that you are doing, the nama, that scriptures, that spiritual path that you are walking in, next birth you will only take from there on. You will not come below this. You will only go above this. So Krishna Bhagavan says, be rest assured, Arjuna, there is no destruction for this seeker. Slokam number 41. Prapya punya kritam lokan ushitva sashvati samaha suchinam shrimatam gehe yoga prashto vijayate. Yoga brashtaha is this unsuccessful yogis. Though following on this path with all faith, with the total shraddha, with the total faith, one who slipped achieving in this life due to some sudden death that is coming to him or her, when he loses that life, this person reaches the other loka, that is Swarga Loka or Brahma Loka, where in this loka, I learned from my teacher, from that loka, the seeker may get an opportunity to learn all the scriptures from Brahma directly. So this person, based on the punyam that that he is done, he will get into that heavenly world. In that heavenly world where Punya Kritam Prapya, based on the Punyam that you have done, you will get birth into that. You may get birth into that world. And when you get that into that world, all the people there will be completely yogis. And they will be all learned people around. And having lived there for a long years, having experienced the pressure of that heavenly world, this yogin get an opportunity or get the chance to be born again in a home where complete, pure and prosperity awaits him. We will get birth into a home where again there will be prosperity. Lokanushitva Sashvatihi Sama. For a long time living in that heavenly world, enjoying all the pleasures of the world, after very many years, Gehe, he is born in a Suchinam, pure, strong in Vedic ordinances, Shrimatam, in a good and wealthy, rich in resources family. Not necessarily that he will be born in that, he will also be connected to the Mahatmas. It is coming on the next slokam number 42. Athava yoginameva kule bhavati dhimatam etaddi durlabhataram loke janma yadidrisham. Durlabhataram loke janma yadidrisham. These type of birth are durlabham. It is not that easy. It is very rare to get such birth. So these unsuccessful yogis, upon death, they get a chance to get birth into the another pure and wealthy, spiritually high evolved families. So they will get birth into that level, and they are not going below from the existing. Suppose they are in this stage, and from this stage they are not going below in the next birth. They get into a heavenly world. In that heavenly world, they get to experience all the pleasures based on the punyam that he has done. Based on that pleasures, having stayed there for very many years, establishing these Viveka and Vairagya more stronger, they get birth again in and to experience into this spiritual path. These type of yogins are durlabham. They are not very easy. They are not very many. They are very rare. Suppose they get the birth here, and you will feel that they are already established in this path. Everything will get into them easily. They are getting into they are getting connected to all this easily. This dispassion, everything comes easily for them. So they get birth into they are born into a family which is already endowed in that wisdom. In wisdom, in the sense, in the divine wisdom. Such birth is not that common. It is durlabham, Arjuna. So for such unsuccessful yogins who are following this path, who is not attaining the supreme destination in this life, there is no destruction for them. They are only progressing upward. They are not going down at all. With this verse, we'll come to an end of today's session. Keeping your back straight, we'll chant Om 3 times. Om. 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 Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम बोलो स्वामी सद्गुरु शिवानंद महाराज की जय. ओम बोलो स्वामी विष्णुदेवानंद महाराज की जय. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thanks for joining. See you tomorrow, same time, 4 o'clock.